So, of course, I have two very interesting topics for you guys. The first topic is going to be me predicting the playoff games. I didn't predict last week because I felt like the wild card is essentially just an extra little regular season game. Didn't think the wild card was that important. But the divisionals when things get serious. And also, second topic, I'm going to talk about Lionel Messi and Ronaldo facing off in the PSG versus Al Nassr matchup. I thought that was pretty interesting. One of the best soccer games I personally ever watched. But, of course, before I get into it, let me remind you to like, subscribe, turn the notification bell. You guys help me out a little bit. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. Now, going on to the first game, the Jaguars versus the Chiefs. A pretty interesting matchup, but for the projected winner, I think it's going to be the Chiefs by a pretty long shot. I think Pat Mahomes has a pretty big game. I feel like the Chiefs defense is going to remain solid, and I think the number one seed is just going to prove too much for the Jaguars to handle. The Jaguars had a great run. I think they're going to be a really good team as we progress into the future, but I don't think it's their time now. I think the Chiefs handle this business. 30-14 is my predicted score, and I think the Chiefs are going to win. Now, of course, on to a more interesting game, the Giants versus the Eagles. A lot of people are going to be surprised by this. Of course, we have to go back to last week. The Giants upset the Minnesota Vikings, which was pretty shocking to me. I thought the Vikings were a better team than the Giants. I thought the Vikings were going to have a chance to go really deep into the playoffs, but if you look at their stats, they really relied on close wins in the regular season, so I'm not really surprised by that. And you guys are going to be surprised by this, but personally, I can see this happening. I think the Giants are going to upset the Eagles. I think the Eagles have had a bad ending to the year. I don't think Jalen Hurts is healthy, and I think the Giants are just in their bag right now. It feels like it's their time. They look amazing. As I said earlier, they just upset a 13-win Vikings team. I think the score is going to be 24-20, and I believe the Giants win it in a close one. Now, of course, the Bengals versus the Bills, another very interesting game. Of course, a couple of weeks ago, there was an unfortunate injury to Damar Hamlin. Of course, prayers up for him. I'm glad he's okay. However, going into the game, I think the Bengals are going to shock the Bills at home. I feel like the Bengals are more hungry this year than they've ever been, coming off that Super Bowl berth last year. I think Joe Burrow, if he has a big game, then this game is as good as over. I think anytime Burrow has a big game, the opponent has almost no chance of winning. And I just have the feelings that the Bills are going to find a way to lose this game. It seems like the Bills, they're always super, super good, but it's like there's that one game they should never lose in the divisional round or the AFC Championship round, and they do somehow end up losing it. I think that's what's going to happen, and the Bengals are seemingly fully healthy for the first time in so long. So I think the score will be 34-31. The Bengals win on what could probably be a last-second field goal if you want to take it down all the way to the wire like that. Now, of course, in my opinion, saving the best for last, the most interesting game of the week, the Cowboys versus the 49ers. Now, this is a super interesting game because I think both of these teams have all-time amazing defenses, and I think their offenses, they do rely on their running game, but I do think both quarterbacks are pretty good. Of course, I think Dak is much better than Brock Purdy right now, but Brock Purdy, no need to disrespect him. Mr. Irrelevant has become very relevant over the last couple of weeks. However, I have the 49ers winning this game. I don't think the 49ers have any weaknesses. Great receivers, their quarterback is great, their running game is great with Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. They have a great tight end in George Kittle, top 5 tight end in the league if you ask me. This team has no weaknesses. I think their defense is going to show up. I definitely think the Cowboys have a great chance of winning this game, though. The Cowboys' run game is really good. Dak Prescott is coming off arguably his best playoff game of his career last game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I think the Cowboys have a great chance of winning this game. However, I have a score of 27-24, and I believe the 49ers are going to get out with a win right here. Now, of course, going on to international sports, our sort of international sports topic of the day, Messi and Ronaldo played each other for, seemingly the 100th time. It's like we always have this matchup. It's the biggest debate in arguably all of sports in the world. However, PSG versus Al Nassr. Now, it is important to note that this was not a competitive match. This was actually a friendly match. And we all know that Ronaldo has recently signed with his new club, the Saudi Arabian team, Al Nassr, in one of the biggest contracts ever. There was a gigantic contract. They're even changing laws for this dude. Like, they're letting him and his girlfriend live together. That's illegal if you're not married in Saudi Arabia. So they're literally changing the laws for this guy. Like, they really wanted him there. But it's safe to say that this game is and was absolutely amazing. You could argue that this game featured the 4 best soccer players in the entire world. You have Messi, you had Ronaldo, you had Mbappe, and you had Neymar. All 4 of those guys are going to be the future. All 4 of those guys are the GOATs at their sport are becoming the go to their sport, in Mbappe's case, who's still in his 20s, ironically. Of course, there were 9 goals scored during the entire game, including 3 by Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo combined. Now, it's important to note that Messi opened the match really, really strong. He got a goal within 3 minutes of the game starting. However, Ronaldo would go on to actually beat Messi's goal scoring total for the game, scoring 2 to Messi's 1. Sergio Ramos, one of the best defenders ever in soccer history, also scored a goal along with Mbappe, who also found a way to score a goal in around the 60th minute of the game. Of course, it's one of the best soccer games I ever seen. I think the PSG team is really, really intriguing. I've loved that team ever since I've seen them. I think they are a well-organized team. They have 3 of the best players in the entire world, and they also won this game. They won this game 5-4. However, I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Cristiano Ronaldo and Al Nassr. Absolutely amazing, amazing team. Absolutely amazing players. I think Al Nassr has a very bright future. I feel like Ronaldo is not done yet, absolutely torching people. Now, I do think Al Nassr in their league is not anywhere as competitive as the English Premier League or La Liga or even League One. However, I do believe that Ronaldo is still going to hold his own against the great teams. PSG, I think they're definitely in the running to win the Champions League. I think they're going to probably win that, but it's really, really intriguing to see what's going to happen in the future. I'm really excited to see both of these teams play and both of these Hall of Fame level players. If you guys want a little debate, a little stat debate on who's better, Messi or Ronaldo, you guys let me know down in the comments. You also let me know down in the comments, who do you think is going to go to the Super Bowl? Who is your Super Bowl winner? Who's your Super Bowl prediction? What do you guys think? But of course, that's going to end the video. Thank you for watching. Stay loved, stay blessed. I wish you nothing but the best. Make sure to like, subscribe. Thank you for watching.